Fuck that woman.
Anton Daniels, this isn't about proving adultery. This is about code. If you publicly teach G code, if you claim biblical structure, if you borrow heavily from Kevin Samuels' discipline framework, then you don't get to hide behind technical innocence when your optics look reckless, because code isn't about technicalities. It's about prevention, and it's about respect. Anton, you position yourself as a man of structure. You speak about man code, G code, biblical marriage principles, headship, order, authority, and much of your language on marriage echoes Kevin Samuels. And even though Kevin famously said, high-value men don't cheat, they exercise options, he also stressed the importance of having dick discipline, controlling yourself, protecting your reputation, and never involving yourself with another man's woman. That wasn't church talk. That was consequences talk. Right now, bloggers and YouTubers have you out here looking like you're hiding an affair between you and Mika.
Fuck that woman.
And they have Mika out here looking like she's a hoe for real because of her interactions with you.
Fuck that woman.
And that's not me saying y'all had an affair. That's just what the optics are looking like. And once optics take over the narrative, you don't control it anymore. And now you and Mika are looking crazy in these streets.
Fuck that woman.
Now, even if modern culture is comfortable with certain men having more than one woman, there is no code, neither street code nor biblical principle, that allows a man to flirt with, entertain hypotheticals with, or create private ambiguity around being with another man's wife. None at all. No G code, no Old Testament structure. Not one single tenet of a high-value man's discipline framework. And now that it's publicly known that Mika has a husband, the spotlight doesn't shift to the culture. It shifts to you. Because in this situation, you are the one that's out of pocket, whether something happened between the two of you or not. Under the codes you preach, perception matters. This situation didn't explode because of rumors. It exploded because of optics, late-night proximity, flirt energy on podcasts, asking what if we met before marriage type hypotheticals, language like,
Mika stayed in pocket. She followed my lead. She stayed. She ain't do none of that. She ain't trip. She just said, yo, I'm rolling with you, and that's the end of the conversation. She ain't say one word. She just kept it moving. That's how women are supposed to move. They're not supposed to do all of the extra shit and all of that. You follow the lead of the person that you're with.
She stayed in pocket, referring to her like she was with you, saying,
What if my chick wasn't familiar with the fact that I got a chick out here with me? That I got a chick out here with me? That I got a chick out here with me?
my wife knew I had a chick with me, as if Mika, another man's wife, is your chick, even if nothing physical happened. Why create a situation that looks like it did, or even could have?
Fuck that woman.
Under G code, the foundation you set that allowed for this scenario to develop was already a violation of code and showed a lack of respect to her husband. Understand this. G code doesn't operate on courtroom proof. It operates on respect. There are one or two code violations at play here. One is actually crossing the line with another man's wife. And the second is allowing it to look like you could have crossed the line. Both require accountability. Because once another man has to question your respect, the boundary was already breached. A disciplined man prevents this type of confusion. He doesn't manage it after the fact. Anton, if you lean into Old Testament structure, headship, covering, authority, then you also have to accept stricter restraint. In biblical covenant marriage, a wife is not property, but she is bound in covenant to her husband. So Mika is out of pocket, and you either encouraged it or allowed it to happen because of selfish reasons. And Scripture doesn't just warn against adultery, it warns against going near another man's door. The standard isn't don't get caught, it's don't approach the line. Biblical masculinity demands restraint before temptation, not explanations after optics go bad. Even Kevin Samuels understood, reputation is everything. You don't create late-night ambiguity, speak possessively, flirt publicly with a married woman, and then argue technical innocence. That's not discipline, that's ego. Dick discipline means you don't even step close to another man's boundaries. If we applied G code or a what would Jesus do principle to it, restoration would look like a direct apology to the husband, man to man, in person and off camera. Then, because this unfolded publicly, a public acknowledgement, not defensive. Just, I created a situation that disrespected a marriage. That's on me. It was wrong and I apologize. That's code. and that's G. This isn't about canceling anyone, it's about consistency. If you teach order, discipline, biblical structure, man code, G code, then you don't get flexibility when your own actions blur lines. The stricter the code, the stricter the accountability. You don't get to preach discipline and argue loopholes. One standard for everyone.